Hi, this is Cindy Nierenberg. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm on a journey to lose 65 pounds in 1 calendar year, and I'm so glad that you're following along. So I drop a new video every Monday, which talks about my progress during the week, but I also offer some tips for you to be able to apply into your own weight loss journey. And I kind of like to think that you and I are going through this together, so it's not such a lonely process for me. So please like and subscribe to my videos, and you'll be notified every week when a new one comes out. So let's talk about what happened this past week. Let's talk about Christmas. You know, those of us who celebrate Christmas know that it's a time of year where we're going to be having access to a lot of foods that we don't typically have access to. And they're foods that are tradition, and they're foods that are very meaningful to us. So for instance, in my family, we have this recipe that has been passed down from my Aunt Stella, who I don't even remember Aunt Stella, but I do remember that I've been eating this pineapple pudding. Oh, it sounds bad, doesn't it? It really is. But I've been eating it my whole life. And it's a cornstarch based pudding. Like, you literally make this from scratch with cornstarch and milk and eggs and sugar, and you cook it, and you hope and pray that it thickens up, and then you add vanilla and pineapple juice and pineapple chunks. Saying it out loud is making it sound really bad, but I love it. And why? Is not that it tastes so great, it's that it's tradition for me, right? My family's been eating this for generations. And speaking of tradition, like, our Christmas was just so full of traditions this year. We found this giant box of family photos on slides, like from the 50s and 60s. So we had to get Dad's old projector out that we didn't even know if it was going to work or not, but we projected these very Norman Rockwell-esque photos onto the wall. And literally it was stockings hanging by the fire and Christmas trees that were so loaded with tinsel, silver tinsel, that the boughs were just hanging. But it was full of tradition. And I noticed as I'm watching these photos of my parents, who were these were in the 50s and 60s, so they were in their mid to late 20s, not much older than my kids are today, interestingly enough. But as I was watching them, I noticed that most of the people in the photos were thin. They didn't have weight problems. And I got to thinking, or especially the men were exceptionally thin. And I got to thinking that these people, when they ate food at home. When I was growing up, we never went out for dinner. All of our foods were prepared at home, and they were all prepared from real foods. Like, we could pronounce everything that we were eating. We could spell all the ingredients in the foods that we were eating, because it's not that hard to spell apple. But I don't know what some of the words are on the sides of the boxes that you and I are eating out of these days. What's in a Chips Ahoy cookie? I don't know. And then also, when I was thinking about these people, they weren't signing up for an exercise class at the gym, right? Like, their life was their exercise class. So my uncles were out working in the fields in their farms, and my dad was working at the railroad. And then in his spare time, he would build cabinetry for friends. He would put in a new kitchen or a bathroom in their house, or put a new roof on their house. That's what he did for spare money on the side. Our ancestors had very active lifestyles. They didn't have to make choices about their food and their activity because they were just living their lives. You and I, every day, we have to make decisions about what we're going to eat and how we're going to work out. So speaking of decisions, let's talk about a decision that we have coming up just this week, and that is another holiday, right? How are we going to get through New Year's Eve? And I know a lot of us are ready to see 2020 go. So we'll be celebrating big on New Year's, right? But I would like to suggest that we make a plan to go into the New Year's. So while our brains are functioning well and we know what our goals are, we have our goals right in front of us, make a plan to get through the new year purposefully. Like, let's talk about food that you might want to eat on New Year's. You know what? Let's talk about drinks, because a lot of us drink a lot on New Year's Eve. So let's just say you make a plan while you're thinking clearly. You make a plan and decide you want to have 3 drinks that night. Well, you can also plan when you want to drink those drinks. So like if you have 3 drinks back to back to back, probably not going to be making really great decisions after that. No judgment. But if you say, okay, I think I'm going to wait until like 9:30, 10 o'clock to have my first drink, and then I'm not going to have another drink until after 11 o'clock, and then I'll have my 3rd drink at midnight when everyone is celebrating. Now you've gone into the holiday not just, oh my gosh, I'm going to be out of control, but I have a plan. And that is what's going to get you through the holidays, following the goals that you want to meet. So the plans work, you guys, and it's exactly what I did at Christmas, right? I lost 1.2 pounds this week during the holidays, during a pandemic, right? And the really cool part is that there just hasn't been a lot of drama to this diet experiment that I've got going, right? Because I'm creating my own rules for this diet, and that has brought all the power back to me. So nobody's telling me what I can and can't eat. Nobody's telling me when I can and can't work out. I'm creating all the rules, and that's what I want for you too. Bring the power. Know that you don't have to have anybody telling you what to eat. You don't have to have anybody telling you how hard to work out. You know what and how your body responds. So my tip for this week is to go into the holidays, go into celebrations with a pre-planned idea of what you want to eat, how much you want to eat, how much you want to drink, and then follow that plan. It's simple. There's very little drama attached to it. You know, we always think that it's the food or the drink that has a pull on us, and that's not true. You know, I would just like to offer to you that it's not the drink, it's not the cookie that has the pull, it's the thoughts that you're having about that cookie. Like when you sit there and you look at that cookie and you think, oh, I really want that cookie. I can't wait. Those are my favorite cookies. Ooh, I really, really, really love cookies. That's what's creating you to have a bigger urge to go get that cookie. It's not the cookie. The cookie's just sitting there being a cookie. Come on. So have a plan for the holidays. I wish you all a very joyous new year. Celebrate and celebrate big. We're moving into 2021, and I will see you next week with good news.